Welcome to Classic Guitar Rock. I'm Jeremy. I'm actually in the voiceover booth, but just wanted to talk about this headline that I just saw roll across here. Journey has fired Steve Smith and Ross Valory again. If you'll remember back in, it was right before the Raised on Radio, so this had been about 85, 86, probably about 86. They gave Steve Smith and Ross Valory their walking papers way back then. And that Raised on Radio tour featured Randy Jackson on bass, right? Pre-American Idol, Randy Jackson was playing bass for them. Can't remember the drummer's name, but they did that whole tour and album without those two. And then they were brought back in the late 90s when Journey did that album with Steve Perry. Well, apparently they have been fired again, both of them, Steve Smith and Ross Valory. And court documents say, let's see, in a press release from Los Angeles-based law practice Miller Barandis, they've issued a lawsuit on behalf of guitarist Neil Schon and keyboard player Jonathan Cain. The lawsuit claims that Smith and Valory had attempted a corporate coup d'etat to gain control of one of the band's business entities, Nightmare Productions. The firm are also seeking damages in excess of $10 million. So not only are they firing these two guys, they're suing them for $10 million. The lawsuit states in 1998, Schon, Cain, and Steve Perry entered into a written agreement providing Schon and Cain the sole exclusive irrevocable right to control the Journey mark, including the Journey name. They are therefore authorized to perform together as Journey with or without anyone else. Defendants Smith and Valory were members of Journey at various times during the band's history. Collectively, they only have a very few song credits on Journey albums. Nevertheless, they were compensated generously for many years. Recently, however, defendants attempted to launch an ill-conceived corporate coup d'etat to assume control of Nightmare Productions because they incorrectly believe that Nightmare Productions controls the Journey name and mark. They hope that by taking over Nightmare Productions, they can hold the Journey name hostage and set themselves up with a guaranteed income stream after they stop performing. Smith and Valory began their campaigns to take control of Nightmare Productions in December of 2019 by conspiring to oust Schon and Cain from control. The claim continues, with their actions, Smith and Valory have destroyed the chemistry, cohesion, and rapport necessary for the band to play together. Journey can only tour successfully and succeed creatively if it is united and the band members trust one another. The actions taken by Smith and Valory shattered that trust. As a result, Schon and Cain removed Smith and Valory from Journey. By letter dated March 3rd, 2020, Schon and Cain provided notice to Smith and Valory that they are no longer members of Journey and that Schon and Cain have lost confidence in both of them and are not willing to perform with them again. Ta-da! So that's the verbiage of the press release from the law office. So here we've got Jonathan Cain, not an original member. Ross Valory, who I believe is an original member, along with Neil Schon. Steve Smith, not the original drummer, but has been in there a long time and was the drummer on most of their successful albums. Jonathan Cain didn't come in until right before Escape. But Journey, for the last 20 years, has been Jonathan Cain and Neil Schon. Their Journey, right? They make all the decisions. They... their Journey. And it's been over 10 years ago now, 14 years ago, that they brought Arnel Pineda in to take over lead singer responsibilities. And he's an employee, right? Just like Ross Valory and Steve Smith are. But Journey is Neil Schon and Jonathan Cain. And in fact, I think everyone assumes that Neil's the boss, but I'm not sure that's true. Jonathan Cain, if you ever have a chance, I can't remember what it's called. There's a documentary about Arnell joining the band, and you watch that documentary, and it really looks like Jonathan Cain may be the boss. It kind of seems that way to me. But anyways, those two are Journey. And this is interesting. About 2 years ago, there was a hoopla about Jonathan Cain visited the White House. And Neil Schon, I think it's pronounced Schon. I don't know. But he kind of came unglued and was upset that Jonathan Cain had visited the White House and thought, well, we shouldn't be getting political. I don't know if visiting the White House is really political. I mean, lots of people visit the White House regardless of who's in the White House. But anyways, that did not sit well with them. Though Journey has played at presidential conventions, the whole band. So I don't know why he's upset about Jonathan Cain visiting the White House when the band has in fact played at presidential political party conventions, right? Whatever. So there have been some problems over the last few years with Journey, and this is just the latest round, firing two legacy members of the band. I don't know what to think about it, right? I don't know all the details. It is always kind of sad when you see original or key legacy members of a group being fired, but it will be interesting to see what happens. Will Journey be putting out new music? I mean, and let's be honest, no one goes to see Journey for new music, right? You go to see the back catalog. I will tell you this. I saw Journey back in 2016. I saw Journey in 1983 as they were on the, what tour is that? Frontiers Tour, which was really their last really good album. And I got to say, this is maybe heresy, right? I enjoyed Arnell more than Steve Perry, right? When I saw them in 2016, he did a great job, great showman, can sing the songs, right? I get it. He's not Steve Perry. He's not the original. And some people are just purists about that. It's never Journey without Steve Perry, whatever. Okay. But just from a pure musical standpoint, I thought they sounded better in 2016 than they did in 83. So for whatever that's worth. But anyways, this is just the latest drama going on from the Journey camp. I'd love to hear what you think about it. Are they wrong to cut these guys loose? Not hearing their side of the story? I don't know. It's always sad when you see legacy members being cut loose from a band, but maybe it was necessary. I don't know. Love to hear what you have to think. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.